Hello and welcome to this, the final part of my second Meet the Dwarves episode. Now, unfortunately, Revocane seems to have scarpered, but I have been told he has been spotted skulking around the kitchens looking for pizza. In the meanwhile, however, MrRexels has decided to help out and will be delivering the psychiatric report I need. We are going to be meeting the migrants who arrived in the summer of this year, 127, and then after them, those who arrived in the autumn. Once again, due to the amount of dwarves that we're going to be meeting, I'm not going to list their names here, but they will be in the video description below. So, without further ado, let's get to meeting the dwarves. Okay, before we jump to the summer of year 127, or rather check out the migrants from that time, I need to have a look at Mr. Chaotic's relationships, because I got distracted hunting for the person that he would send into a coffin with his propensity to point at people he greets, and forgot to check this out. So, married to Sir Blackwood. Well done. Mother and father, not here, though you have got an older sister. Oh, rather, you had an older sister. Sorry about that. You've got aunts, uncles, a couple of people here actually, quite a few cousins, and you've got no friends. No friends or enemies. That is always a good thing to see. But those are the relationships for Mr. Chaotic. Now, on to the migrants from the summer of this year. We'll start with rZombie, if I can find him. Yes, here we are. That's very convenient. rZombie's got a place to call his own with quarters, a chest, and a cabinet. Let's check you out. You're married to MrRexels, and you have been happy lately. Fantastic. You're 66 years old. You're very slow to tire, but you are quite susceptible to disease. That's not very good. You like orpiment, pig iron, fire opal, green glass, goat hoof, battle axes, large gems, anvils, and cats for their aloofness. You're the second person who likes cats. It seems that Cattenvîr is not particularly the imager of dwarf fortresses, but it is slowly getting there. When possible, you prefer to consume red panda, my lord, Longland beer, and dwarven milk. You absolutely detest fire snakes. Another one who doesn't like fire snakes. I'm going to have several rooms for these support groups, because I don't think they're going to be able to timeshare it. I think we actually need at least two. She has a way with words, good intellect, and good intuition. Well done. But you have poor focus, a meager kinesthetic sense, and meager creativity, and a really bad memory. Okay. You don't handle stress well. You are candid and sincere in your dealings with others. Well, okay. You don't really have many traits in that side of things, sort of mental traits. Your husband is MrRexels. You do not have any children. You do have an older brother here, Spartan. Nieces, actually you've got Samtan is your niece, Hamster and Eli are both your cousins. Anyone else? No, no one else. You've actually got, although you've got quite a lot of relatives, not very many of them are in the fort. Okay, next we are on to Arcan. Where is Arcan going to be? I have passed you a few times, Arcan. Where are you? Here we are. A labourer. You should have been up there with the other labourers. You actually have a quarters. Well done. Sorry, we'll have a look at who you are first. Right, you're married to Mesron. Now, I apparently keep getting that mixed up. I keep saying Merson, but it's not. It's Mesron. Okay. Did it right this time, for once. You're 82 years old, and you are weak. Okay. Your teeth are widely spaced. You are almost never sick, quite quick to heal, and slow to tire, but you're very weak. Okay, I was about to say you'd actually make a good soldier, but possibly not with that, with the weakness. But nevertheless, you could probably handle some of the more dangerous jobs. But then again, the more dangerous jobs do tend to be the ones that require strength, like mining. I'll have to think about that one. You like stibonite, billion, red grossula, I have no idea what that is, goathoof, coral, amulets, splints, and white stalks for their long legs. When possible, you prefer to consume pond grabber. We get a lot of that, and rainbow trout actually, so you're probably quite happy with the meals you're getting. River spirit and whipvine flower. You absolutely detest cave spiders. Not any specific type of spider, just cave spiders. Any spider that lives in a cave. No, I actually think the cave spiders are a species on here, but you have a very good sense of empathy, but then a bunch of negative traits, such as a questionable spatial sense, a very bad analytical ability, and really poor focus. You can handle stress though, you're somewhat reserved, you are unassertive, you love a good thrill, and you're compassionate. Those are all really nice little traits there, and oh well, you're disorganized, but we'll look past that, because on the whole, you seem to be a remarkably nice person. Mesron, oh right, Mesron, I'm mixing them up, Mesron seems to have caught himself a very nice wife. You've got an eldest son is here, DrHylke. Oh, that's quite interesting. Very nice. Younger brother, younger sister. So you've got a lot of very close relatives in the fort. And then no friends. Well, I suppose you've got enough close relatives, you don't really need friends. Let's check out Webster. At least, you know, if you get on with your relatives. If you don't, then you're kind of in a bad position there. Where are you, Webster? Doesn't look like you're down here. Here you are, Foodsmith. You've got a quarters and a chest, so you've got one of the newly built quarters that hasn't been fully furbished yet. You've been quite content lately, and you're married to JamesCox. Oh. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm not liking this. You have the appearance of somebody that is 127 years old and is one of the first of his kind. Now that is either saying you are literally one of the very first dwarves that ever lived, or you're a vampire. That's my guess. I'm not liking this. Not liking that at all. But we'll continue having a look through. I'm not going to condemn you as a vampire yet, but clearly I need to keep an eye on you. You're incredibly tough though, and you're very weak. You like rock salt, nickel, Goshenite, piccolos, and monitor lizard men for their intelligence. Are they particularly intelligent? Oh, that's interesting. When possible, you prefer to consume glass eye, whipped vine, and tapir's milk, sorry. You absolutely detest mosquitoes. You have great musical sense, a very good feel for social relations, and a sharp intellect, and the ability to focus, but you have a little difficulty with words. You're very slow to anger, that's good. If you're a vampire, that's very good. You occasionally overindulge, that's not good if you're a vampire. You can handle stress and tend to avoid crowds. You are unassertive. You are relaxed. You prefer familiar routines, and you're put off by authority and tradition. You find rules confining, that makes sense. You don't go out of your way to do more work than necessary, and you speak rapidly when you're excited, a little bit like me. But, yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about that whole, you appear to be this old, but perhaps you're very, very old. Perhaps you're millions of years old, and you don't have any other relatives. Well, I suppose if you are one of the first of your kind, that would make sense. I'm not really sure how in Dwarf Fortress the dwarves came to be. I'm assuming some sort of god shenanigans, but I shall have to keep a look on that. But it's quite cool if you are one of the first dwarves that you've decided to make Cattenvîr your home. Now, next on the list is SkeletalSoup. Where shall we find SkeletalSoup? Not up here. It doesn't look like. It looks like you might be down here instead. SkeletalSoup, a tinkerer. Let's check you out. You've got a modest quarters, one chest, one cupboard. That's actually better than most of the others, I think. Now, you've been happy lately. You're married to Boxinator, and you're 76-year-old. Let's see. Your sideburns are clean shaven. Oh, okay. You are flimsy, unfortunately, and that is pretty much all there is about you. You have no positive physical traits. You like relgar, aluminium, Goshenite. I don't have any clue what Goshenite is. Crystal glass, the colour lilac, gems, maces, scepters, and catapult parts. Another one who likes siege weapon parts. When possible, you prefer to consume yellow bullhead and sewer brew. That doesn't sound good. You absolutely detest hamsters. Oh, poor old hamster. It would have been hilarious if you were married to hamster. You've got good intuition though, but you have meager creativity, little willpower, and very bad sense of empathy. You have a calm demeanour, you're very slow to anger, you're often sad and dejected. Oh no! You occasionally overindulge because you're sad and dejected. He enjoys the company of others. He isn't given to flights of fancy, he prefers familiar routines. He is trusting, and he finds helping others very rewarding. He tenses up when he's nervous and needs alcohol to get through the working day. I'm so sorry. We seem to have quite a few depressed dwarves in our fort. But your wife is Boxinator. Your only son is Tree Sniper 12. Is that because the reason for your depression? Because Tree Sniper 12 is your son? I am, of course, joking. I'm sure having Tree Sniper 12 as your son is a wonderful thing. But still, we need to find out why all of our dwarves are so depressed. You don't have any friends yet, but I'm not expecting many of the new dwarves to have friends. At least not yet. They need a little bit more time to really get in touch with everyone else in the fort. Now, OneFJef, let's check you out. You have quarters that you probably furnished yourself. And let's check out your thoughts. You've been happy lately, that is good. You're married to the TheKelset, and you're 79 years old. You've got a broad body, made broader still by no shortage of surrounding lard. Wow. I hope you understand that this is Dwarf Fortress doing this, not me. I have no control over these things. You're incredibly tough though and slow to tire, probably because you've got such a massive amount of energy stores deposited around your body. But you're very slow to heal, very weak, and really susceptible to disease. Oh, that's bad. You like rutile, iron, pink tourmaline, Arcadia wood, cabochons, and rhinoceroses for their horns. Oh, if only I still had a rhinoceros. When possible, you prefer to consume cave lobster, dwarven wine, tapir's milk, and dwarven sugar. Another one who likes tapir's milk. That's interesting. You absolutely detest bark scorpions. And another one who detests bark scorpions. Still, only 2 people that does not make a support group. If there's 3, though, I'm going to have to add that to my list of support groups. You have great feel for social relationships, an amazing memory, and very good sense of empathy. But you have a meager kinesthetic sense, little willpower, and little natural inclination towards music. You rarely feel discouraged. You are confident under pressure, you are assertive, you love a good thrill, you're often cheerful. When you become exasperated, you click your tongue. You gnaw your cheek when you're... Gnaw your cheek, not even just chews on your cheek, you actually gnaw it. When you're nervous, you often drum your fingers, and you need alcohol to get through the working day. It's good that you don't mind working... you actually like working outdoors. That's actually really good, considering you're a woodsmith. Now... Your husband is the only relation you've got, and that's it. You don't have any actual family. That's very interesting. Now, we did wonder about you being a vampire because you've got such amazing skills. I'm going to have to keep an eye on you as well. Now, next on the list is TheDude. Now, I'm interested in seeing TheDude. You are one of our very few legendary dwarves. You don't have anyone to call your own yet. My lord, I'm going to have to fix that right away. You've been quite content lately, and you're married to Jamuson. You're 75 years old. See, you're mighty and rarely sick, but you are quite quick to tire. But you have a tall body loaded with incredible muscles. Wow. That's actually pretty cool. You like ilmenite, gold, morganite, amber, sheep wool, the colour mahogany, breastplates, slabs, pixies for their intricate aerial dances, and rope reeds for their precise lines. Okay. When possible, you prefer to consume herring and fisherberry wine, but you absolutely detest oysters. You have an iron will, but she has little difficulty with words. She feels strong urges and seeks short-term rewards. Oh dear. She's confident under pressure. She prefers that others handle the leadership roles. I like that. She lives for risks and excitement. She has a fertile imagination and admires tradition. She is guarded in relationships with others. She often does the first thing that comes to mind. Her hands are animated when she speaks, and she laughs loudly when she's excited. You know, TheDude, you've actually got a pretty interesting sounding dwarf there, I've got to be honest. Let's see. Your husband is Jameson. You actually do have quite a lot of family, and even some of them are in the fort, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Have you got any friends? No, but you've got 4 deities. I imagine you spend a lot of your time at the shrine we haven't yet built, but that I really should, to honour all of these deities that we've got. Right, Jameson is next. Let's find you. JamesCox, are you up here? No, it doesn't look like so. Let's look down on the second page. You down here? Make yourself known. Ah, damn it. There's another one that's hiding somewhere. This is going to be annoying. Let's see. Let's move slowly. Jameson, where are you? There's no use hiding from this. Everyone needs to go through these. Here we are, stonesmith, constructing a building, hiding behind it, no doubt. Let's see. Now, honesty, please. You're quite content. Okay, that's good. You're married to the dude, and you're 75 years old. You're very slow to tire and tough, and no negative traits. Very well done. You like saltpeter, adamantine, aventurine, amber gems, that I should say, amulets, mini forges, and cows for their haunting moos. I wouldn't say cows have haunting moos, honestly. They've got annoying moos, but I wouldn't say that they were haunting. Where possible, he prefers to consume saltwater crocodile. Okay. Brook lamprey and swamp whiskey. He absolutely detests rats. Okay, that's fair enough. He has a very good sense of empathy, a way with words, and a feel for music, but he has a meager ability with social relationships and a poor memory. He occasionally overindulges. He appreciates art and natural beauty. He dislikes intellectual discussions. He is put off by authority and tradition. He finds helping others rewarding and finds rules confining. You strive for excellence, though, and that's always a very nice thing to see. And you're self-disciplined. Very nice. Another one who gnaws on his cheek when he... Oh, no, this is when you're excited, not when you're angry. Okay. I'm not sure if that's any better, though. You become very focused during conversations when you're angry. Ooh. You often snap your fingers when you're nervous. I thought, you often snap when you're angry and kill everyone. When he's surprised, he has a very unique laugh. Okay, fair enough. Let's check out your relationships. Your wife, older sister, blood alchemy, aunt, niece, taxomy. Got a couple of cousins. In fact, you got quite a few cousins already here. Lots of cousins already here. Any more? No. And that's it. Okay. Now, on to the KelsetSoup. Let's see. Where are you going to be? The names usually stand out fairly well. No. None there. You down here? No. Ah, here we are. You're a craftsmith. My lord, what are you doing? You're apparently... You're apparently a noble of some sort. Okay, you've got a quarters. That's pretty cool. Let's check this out. You've been happy lately. You're married to OneFJef, 73 years old. You're slow to heal and quick to tire. You've got no positive physical traits. That's a shame. You like native aluminium, fine pewter, green jade, great horned owl leather, giant lion tamarin tooth, okay, muscle shell, bolts, low boots, and phantoms of steam for their rhythmic undulations. My lord! I didn't even realize there were phantoms of steam, but the fact that you know of them and like them for their rhythmic undulations is fantastic. When possible, you prefer to consume giant python and gutacure. You absolutely detest cave spiders. He has an iron will and a great ability to focus, a natural ability with music, and a very good sense of empathy and good creativity. I imagine you do well with people then. Everyone likes someone who's good with music. But you have a shortage of patience and a little difficulty with words. Oh, okay. Well, if you're playing music, you're not going to be talking, so it's okay. We can hide your weaknesses behind your strengths. He is slow to anger, can handle stress. You prefer to be alone. You live a life at a leisurely pace. Oh, I appreciate that. That's pretty cool. You have a fertile imagination. You love new and fresh ideas, and do not go out of your way to help others. That's a shame. You would rather intimidate others than compromise with them. I want to say that's a shame, but there's a part of me that thinks that's fantastic. Well done. You're very confident. You shake your finger up and down when you're excited. Okay, let's check out your relations. Your wife, and that is it. So you are probably another old one. Let me just check. No, 73 years old. Well. Okay. I'm a little bit surprised that you've got no family information. I'm going to have to keep an eye on you as well. Now, Boxinator is the next person we need to find. Where are you going to be, Boxinator? Up here somewhere, it appears. Boxinator, our metalsmith. Let's check you out. You've got quarters, that's always nice to see. And you've been happy lately, and you're married to SkeletalSoup. Most of our dwarves appear to be married, which is fantastic, because that means they're going to be sharing bedrooms. So we're going to need far less bedrooms than I feared that we'd need. You're 80 years old, and you're weak. Quite quick to heal and agile, but very weak. Oh. Okay. Well, the fact you're agile, I'll just have to make sure you're in roles that don't really need strength. But the fact that you're a metalsmith, that might not be the best thing. You like kimberlite, platinum, shell opal, tunnel tube wood, the colour copper, boxes and bags and snapping turtle men for their powerful bites. Does it say some of you are a masochist down here, or do you just like seeing them bite other things? When possible, you prefer to consume lorikeet, sewer brew, and dwarven sugar. Another one who just likes shoveling sugar into their mouth. You absolutely detest jumping spiders. So much arachnid hate in this fortress. She has an iron will, very good focus, and good intuition, but has an iffy memory. That's okay. Most of us do. She doesn't often experience strong cravings or urges. She can handle stress. She makes friends quickly. She is unassertive. She doesn't need thrills or risks in life. Well, that's fair enough. I can appreciate that. She can be very happy and optimistic. That's always nice to hear as well. She likes to try new things. She is put off by authority and tradition. Oh dear. She is guarded in relationships with others. She strives for excellence. She always acts without considering alternatives or thinking through possibilities. And she needs alcohol to get through the working day. I don't know. You've got an interesting mix of very positive traits and very negative ones, in my opinion. Husband is SkeletalSoup, and your only son is Tree Sniper 12. Anyone else here? Your younger sister, Sam Scale, is here. Which means that, yes, you've got plenty of nieces in the fortress. TheDude is one of your nieces. That's interesting. And you've got 2 deities, but that is it. Okay, next. We are looking for MrRexels, who I believe is down this way. MrRexels, there you are, a medicus, working alongside Revocane. Perhaps even MrRexels is the one delivering these psychiatric reports to us. Revocane probably has snuck off to eat some pizza. Right, you've got quarters. Let's check you out. You've been happy lately, and you've been married to rZombie. Oh, you are married to rZombie. You're 68 years old, and you're almost never sick, indefatigable, and quick to heal. That's fantastic qualities in someone who's going to be dealing with sick and injured people. You like Nessus, lay pewter, kunzite, okay, rubber wood, okay, deer horn, more copper tooth, the colour olive, warhammers, doors, chains, guinea fowls for their social nature, and white spotted puffers for their ability to inflate. Okay, that's very interesting. When possible, he prefers to consume octopus, sewer brew, and wild strawberry seeds. No seeds. You absolutely detest lizards. You have a great ability to focus, a good feel for social relationships, and good creativity, but you have poor analytical abilities. You are often nervous, you often feel discouraged, you are self-conscious. Oh man, I'm really... We need to do something about all of these people who are just nervous wrecks. He is somewhat reserved. He lives for risk and excitement. Really? You're nervous and yet you... Maybe this is what you're trying to do to bring yourself out of the shell. You're just forcing yourself to do things like bungee jumping or, lion taming. I appreciate someone who can review their weaknesses and plan a way to solve them. But perhaps you should lay off the lion taming, honestly. You appreciate art and natural beauty. You are highly adventurous and love fresh experiences. You are immodest. Well, to be fair, anyone who's taming lions doesn't need to be modest. That's awesome. You are compassionate and you need alcohol to get through the working day, but you don't mind being outdoors. That's always cool. Let's check out your relations. You are married to rZombie. You've got 2 older brothers, Tiny Tim and Aethirshero, that I'm pronouncing wrong, and a couple of cousins. Any friends? No, of course not. You haven't been here long enough. Dwarves take a remarkable amount of time to actually make friends, it seems. Right, we now need to find a Mesron. Where are you, Mesron? I will get to grips with pronouncing your name. I am so sorry that I've been pronouncing it absolutely wrong for so long. Here we are, Mesron. Let's check you out. A labourer. With the quarters, well done. Okay, you've been ecstatic lately. Oh, let's find out why. You dined in a great dining room. You admired a fine seat lately. You've been satisfied at work. You've slept in a great bedroom recently and made a friend. Oh, well done. So we're going to have a friend on your friend list. That's fantastic. You admired your own fine container lately. You talked with a spouse lately and you were caught in the rain. But apparently that hasn't soured your mood. Maybe you like the rain. You've actually got 4 children. My lord. Okay, you're married to Arcan. You're 83 years old. You're average in size, apparently, and you're susceptible to disease, quite clumsy, and remarkably flimsy. Oh, that's not good. You haven't got any positive traits to counterbalance all of that. You like diorite, fine pewter, black diamond, alpaca wool, gems, shields, horses for their strength, and monitor lizards for their intelligence. When possible, you prefer to consume chicken. Well done. Not enough people like the good old foods, the down-to-earth foods. None of this, I want to eat saltwater crocodiles. You like chicken. Well done. Unfortunately, I don't have any, but I will make a point of trying to buy some if I ever get the chance. Sunshine and alpaca's milk. I love it when they like sunshine. It just sounds so weird. You absolutely detest mosquitoes, though. You've got a meager kinesthetic sense, a little patience, and next to no willpower. Again, no positive mental traits. This isn't very good, honestly. You can handle stress. You prefer that others handle the leadership roles. That's good. You prefer familiar routines. You admire tradition. You are candid and sincere in dealings with others. You do not go out of your way to help others. You lack confidence. You don't go out of your way to do more work than necessary. And you take time when making decisions. Apparently, you also snap your fingers when you're nervous. I don't know. So many negative traits and not enough to balance them out. But you've got a wife, Arcan, and apparently you've got a friend somewhere. You've also got a bunch of people in the fort who are... Oh, really? No? No friend? No friend? You got my hopes up. You lied to me, Mesron. Or was it perhaps Dino was your friend? Did your friend die? I'm going to have to keep an eye out. Make sure you don't get too suicidal over that. JamesCox, or suicidal at all. I mean, too suicidal seems silly. Let's see. JamesCox, down here. You're a stone slayer. Let's check you out. You've got a quarters with a chest in it. So one of the lucky who've got one of the newer quarters. That will get fleshed out later on. You have been happy lately, and you're married to Webster. You're 126-year-old. Born on the 1st of Granite in year 1. Wow, we've got some of the founding members of our species living in this fort. It is amazing. You're weak, your eyebrows are extremely low. Okay. But you're very slow to tire, and you are very weak and very flimsy. Well, I guess that's not too bad. Though you are a stone slayer, so really being weak is kind of a problem. You like Railgar. I think the physical traits, though, can change over time as they basically buff up from doing work. You like fine pewter, demantoid, sea lamprey leather, picks. Well, it's nice that you like picks considering you're a miner. Gauntlets and pigtails for their twisting stalks. When possible, you prefer to consume giant crow and dwarven rum. You absolutely detest brown recluse spiders. Oh my lord. I am actually going to have to make a list of all the people who don't like brown recluse spiders. Or, actually, one of you helpful people in the comments can compile this list for me. And then I know who to lock in a room so they can talk about their problems. Possibly with a brown recluse spider in there so they can face their fears. She has great intuition, but she has poor memory, a very bad sense of empathy, and lousy creativity. You are comfortable in social situations, though. You're confident under pressure, you are unassertive, you are not a risk taker, you have a fertile imagination, you are mostly unaware of your own emotions, and rarely express them. She is entranced by riddles and puzzles. Oh, you're the second person who is entranced by riddles and puzzles, and loves to debate issues and ideas, but you lack confidence. That is a shame. Let's check out your relations. You only have a relationship with your husband. Fair enough, I mean, you are one of the first, so perhaps you don't have any other family. Now then, JamesCox, that was the last who arrived in the summer of year 127. So now we are on to those who arrived in the autumn of year 127. Right, let's see. Aryeki is the first among those. Let's find you. Where are you? Are you down on... No, there we are. Foodsmith. Haha! You don't have your own room. That's a shame. But you've been quite content lately. Oh, my lord. You've got a wound. You're married to Volcatius. You are 102 years old. And that should be 102 years old, surely. But your second toe, right foot is gone. Oh, my lord. I wonder what happened. I wonder if that's a wound you acquired in the fort or whether that is something that you brought with you. You're very strong and agile. You are quite susceptible to disease, however. We need to keep a good eye on that toe then. I might have to have one of the medicuses check you out. You like marble, zinc, moss, agate, clear glass, giant ibex horn, masked lovebird, okay, lovebird tooth, the colour cinnamon, doors, jugs, and alpacas for their resemblance to a miniature llama. My lord, that was fantastic! I am going to have a sip of tea while I contemplate that. Seriously though, you like them because they look like miniature llamas. That's fantastic. When possible, you prefer to consume sheep, clown loach, dwarven beer, and dwarven sugar. You absolutely detest rats, so that's 2 people who don't like rats. And of 3 people who like dwarven sugar, I think we need a support group for that as well, honestly. You've great musical sense, a good feel for social relationships, and the ability to focus, but you have a shortage of patience and very bad sense of empathy. You rarely feel discouraged, you are highly adventurous, and love fresh experiences. That's always nice. You regard intellectual exercises as a waste of energy. That isn't good. Everyone's got to love Sudoku. I mean, come on, it's brilliant. She is candid and sincere in their dealings with others. She is immodest. She is organized. She takes time when making decisions, and she chews her lips intently when she's thinking, which she doesn't like to do too often because she finds intellectual exercises pointless. But you've got a husband, you've got a couple of children, none of whom are here in the fort with us. You've got 2 aunts, a couple of uncles, and quite a lot of nephews. Wow. And a couple of cousins. Well. Like I said, we have got some clans living in Cattenvîr, and I'm a little bit concerned about the possibility of a power play somewhere along the lines. Now, we need to find KapaKnight. Where are you, KapaKnight? Are you on this top list, or are you not? No, it doesn't look like you are. Let's check down here then. KapaKnight. Here we are. You're a labourer. Let's check you out. No room, though, which is fair enough. You're a labourer. You've been quite content lately. You're married to someone whose name hasn't got a nickname, and thus is probably not in the fort. You're 80 years old. You're almost never sick and quite durable, but you are clumsy, very weak, and extremely quick to tire. You like hornblende, aluminium, clear garnet, the colour crimson, gauntlets, giant emus for their inquisitive nature, and sunberries for their inner light. That's quite nice. When possible, you prefer to consume head horse, mead, horse's milk, and whipped vine flour. Though I kind of like the idea of you preferring to consume the horse's head. None of the rest of it. I just like to eat its head, its brains, its eyes, its nostrils, all of that good stuff. And you absolutely detest snails. You have a way with words, good intuition and willpower, but an remarkable amount of negative mental traits. You've got poor analytical ability, poor spatial sense, poor creativity, a poor kinesthetic sense, and a lack of understanding of social relationships. My lord. Talking with you must be a real chore. You are concerned about rejection and ridicule. Okay, MrRexels, I hope you understand that none of this should be getting back to KapaKnight. Yes, we'll just keep this in the files, and my comments on them should be kept there as well. You occasionally overindulge, you don't handle stress well, he is not a risk taker, he is trusting, and he is modest. Oh, that's quite nice to see someone who is actually modest. But your only relation is your wife, who you have left behind. Wow. I feel quite sorry for you. Now, Haika, where are you? Or Haika. I forget how it was meant to be pronounced, damn it! And you actually went to the effort of telling me how it should be pronounced as well. I feel terrible. But let's check you out. You've got 18 objects, no room though. But you've been quite content despite it. And you're married to Ljoonal. 99 years old. You are slow to tire, no negative traits, and no negative mental traits either. Wow. You like limonite, adamantine, red tourmaline, clear glass, elkhorn, foxtooth, bucklers, bins, amulets, crutches, dogs for their loyalty, and lynx for their ear tufts. Fair enough. When possible, you prefer to consume fisher berries and strawberry wine. You absolutely detest moon snails, but we should be able to get you a war dog to join you in your military exploits, and I can only imagine you'd be very, very happy with that. You've got a good feel for social relationships, good focus, willpower, and an ability to read emotions fairly well. You occasionally overindulge, but that can be looked past, considering how amazing you are and everything else. You can handle stress. You prefer stability and security to ambiguity and disorder. Very good traits in a military person. You do not go out of your way to help others. That's not so great. But you are willing to compromise with others. That is fairly good as well. You are self-disciplined as well. Nice. That means when you're off duty, you may well go to the barracks and train anyway. Let's check out your relations. You are, well, your only relation is your husband. Fair enough. So, now we are looking for Anonymous, who's right up there, the druid. Let's check you out. No room of your own, but you've been happy anyway, and you're married to Dr. Hykel. You've got one child, but they don't look to be here. He's the son of Mosum... Oh, right. Sorry. I thought it was about to say that your child wasn't with Dr. Hykel. I was quite surprised that Dwarf Fortress went into that level of detail, but no, I think it's talking about you being the son of Mommers. You're 72 years old. You're very muscular, which is always quite nice. You're quite durable and very strong, but you are quick to tire. You like schist, nickel, wood opal, gems, picks, greaves, not graves, barrels, cavies for their 3 toes, and giant leopards for their spotted coats. When possible, you prefer to consume fisherberry wine and rock nuts, but you absolutely detest lizards. You have great intuition, a deep well of patience, and good creativity. Very nice indeed. No negative mental traits. You're comfortable in social situations, you enjoy the company of others, you're often cheerful, you do not have a great aesthetic sensitivity, you have a great awareness of your own emotions, you find rules confining, you are self-disciplined, and you're extremely cautious, but you do stammer when you're excited. Again, very much like myself, really. Let's check on your relations. You are related to your wife, obviously, but you have a younger sister here, cognitive dissonance, an uncle, couple of cousins, but no friends, alas. Now, Ljoonal, where are you? A fish smith. Again, no room, but you've been quite content, and you're married to Haika. You're 94 years old. You're quick to tire, susceptible to disease, very weak, and quite clumsy. You like horn silver, gold, peridot, lynx bone, the colour copper, crosses, shields, and goblets. When possible, you prefer to consume leech. Okay. Spotted ratfish and longland beer. You absolutely detest toads. Why do you like eating leeches then? I'm sure they're kind of similar in consistency. You have a great kinesthetic sense, very good creativity, and a good spatial sense. You have a shortage of patience though, little willpower and a poor memory, and very bad analytical abilities. You'll almost never feel discouraged, that's pretty cool. You are self-conscious, that's not. You are not a risk taker, you do not have a great aesthetic sensitivity. You are modest, that's nice. You are organized, you are self-disciplined, and you chew your lips when you get excited. I really do need to look back at the comments and find out how to pronounce Haika's name properly. But they are the only person with whom you have any sort of relationship. Fair enough. Now, let's have a look. Aethirshero, let's find where you are. Aethirshero, I think you were up here somewhere, were you not? There you are, a labourer. No room, but you've been quite content regardless. You are married to PlanBPill. You're 80 years old. You are rarely sick and strong, and you have no physical negative traits. You like gabbro, nickel, bone opal, giant ibex horn, the colour lavender, shield, water buffaloes for their wallowing, okay, lynxes for their ear tufts, and hide roots for their fuzzy projections. I like the fact that you like so many things because of something. When possible, you prefer to consume sea nettle jellyfish. Oh, someone else who likes that. And fisherberry wine. You absolutely detest lizards. Okay, we've got enough lizard detesters now that I think we do need a room for them as well. But we can probably get away with 2 though still. I don't think we've got that many support groups, but you have a natural ability with music, good creativity, and good intellect. But you have poor focus, a meager kinesthetic sense, and a little linguistic ability. You rarely feel discouraged. You don't often experience strong cravings or urges. You find helping others rewarding. You are incredibly compassionate and feel the pain of others. Oh... But, I mean, it's kind of good and bad in a way. You act impulsively, though, and you chew your lip when you're nervous. You always scratch your head when you're trying to remember something. Okay. I'm sure that doesn't get too annoying. Your wife, PlanBPill, and you've got a couple of younger brothers here. Anything else? You've got I believe, a cousin, a couple of cousins probably. Quite a few. And you got a pet lamb. Well done. Ustooth. I'm sure that lamb loves you very much. Now then, we are on to PlanBPill, as it happens. So where are you? There you are. You're a stonesmith, without a room. Obviously, if I can get one for you, then your wife will move in as well. Or rather, your husband will move in as well. You are married to Aethirshero, as we've seen. You're quite content, and you're 83 years old. You are clumsy and flimsy, and you have no positive physical traits. You like cassiterite, silver, jelly opal, puffin leather, kangaroo tooth, the colour vermilion, picks, windows, and amulets. When possible, you prefer to consume nautilus and mead. Together, generally. You absolutely detest mosquitoes, though. But you have an amazing spatial sense, a very good feel for social relations, and a good intellect, as well as a good intuition and the ability to focus. But you have an iffy memory. That is perfectly fine, considering how good you are at everything else, my lord. You rarely feel discouraged, you are highly adventurous and love fresh experiences, and you're easily moved to pity. Okay, I mean, that's the same with Aavak as well. Perhaps you two can tell sob stories to each other to pass the time. She tenses up when she's nervous, she needs alcohol to get through the working day, and she does not mind being outdoors. Let's check out your relations. Other than your husband, you've actually got your mother and father in the fort. It's interesting. Farizan is your aunt. You've got a couple of nieces and nephews, and then it's just cousins. Lots and lots and lots of cousins. My lord, you've barely met anyone. You have you've only got 2 passing acquaintances, Flying Staplers and KapaKnight. That is crazy. Okay, it's on to Dr. Heikel now, though. Where are we going to find you? Are you down here? Are you actually one of the medicuses? Because with a name like that, you really should be. Let's check you out. No, you're not. You're a druid. Okay, fair enough. No room, but you've been quite content nevertheless, even though you've slept without a proper room, and been annoyed by flies. That great dining room is really helping us, even though it isn't particularly that great. You're married to Anonymous, and you're 80 years old. You like talc, lead, fortification agate, giant platypus tooth, gems, mail shirts, barrels, and horses for their strength. When possible, you prefer to consume hake, yak, cheese, and swamp whiskey. You absolutely detest mussels. You have a feel for music, though, a good feel for social relationships, and a good memory. But you have a poor analytical ability, a meager kinesthetic sense, and meager creativity. You're confident under pressure, though. You do not have a great aesthetic sensitivity. You dislike intellectual discussions. You revel in chaos and disorder. Oh, my lord. That's not good. You are candid and sincere in your dealings with others. You are disorganized. You find rules confining and strive for excellence. You become very rigid when you're angry, and you need alcohol to get through the working day. Probably like starting bar fights while you're getting some. Right, other than your husband, it doesn't seem... Oh, here we are. You've got one uncle in the fort, a cousin in the fort, probably a couple of cousins, but you at least know of most of the other people in the fort. Unlike PlanBPill, who seems to be largely oblivious. Milliams, where are you, Milliams? Make yourself known. Let's see, are you up here somewhere? Let's have a look. I think you're a fisher. Oh no, you're a craftsmith. Here we are. You do not have your own room, but you have been happy lately, and you're married to Skelly. You're 110 years old, born on the 10th of Felsad in the year 17. Well done. You're tough, but you are susceptible to disease. You like shale, adamantine, jelly, opal, nether capwood, brown recluse spider silk, and the colour pale pink. When possible, he prefers to consume perch, fisher berries, sunshine, and wild strawberry seeds. No! Me not eat my seeds! You absolutely detest jumping spiders. You have a great affinity for language and a good memory, but you do have a meager kinesthetic sense. You rarely feel discouraged, though, and that's good. You feel strong urges and seek short-term rewards. That isn't too good. You are relaxed, generally. You are resistant to change. You always act without considering alternatives or thinking through possibilities. And you talk to yourself when you're thinking. That's perfectly fine. Right, your wife is your only real relation, I imagine, but you have got PlanBPill, youngest daughter. Oh no, Farizan, oldest sister. Okay, you've actually got a few people in the fort. And 2 deities. but no friends or grudges. Now, Skelly, where are you? Not Skilla, Skelly. Here we are. 18 objects you own. You've been quite content, and you're married to Milliams. You're 117 years old, born on the 14th of Opal in the year 10. You're clumsy and quick to tire and have no positive physical traits, but you do like Orthoclast, Nickel, Moss Opal, Helmet, Snake Tooth, Low Boots, and Totems. When possible, you prefer to consume sunshine and absolutely detest snails. There are quite a few people who don't like snails, actually. You've got great intuition, a great deal of patience, and good spatial sense, but you have quite poor focus, rather. You occasionally overindulge, you are highly adventurous and love fresh experiences, and admire tradition. You drum your fingers, though, when you're thinking, and that does get a little bit annoying. Your husband is Milliams, who doesn't really mind your drumming of fingers. In fact, he finds it somewhat endearing. PlanBPill, your youngest daughter, who does find it annoying. Your younger brother is Volcatius, and you've got a niece in Aryeki. Anyone else? Arnob is a niece as well. Celador, nephew. Lots of nieces and nephews, but not too many cousins, I guess, because you're one of the first, I suppose. And a few passing acquaintances, though not too many. You do need to get out more and meet a couple more people. Now, for the last person who arrived in autumn of year 127, and the last person that we're going to be meeting this year, we need to find Volcatius. Where are you, Volcatius? I think you're a labourer, if I'm not mistaken. No, you're a stonesmith. I am mistaken, it appears. 17 objects owned. You've been happy lately. You're married to Aryeki. You're 102 years old. You're quite durable and have no negative physical traits, which is great. You like gabbro, lead, tube agate, chestnut wood, giant capybara leather, panda bone, rope reed fiber fabric, the colour spring green, flasks, cows for their haunting moos, and wrens for their intricate songs. When possible, you prefer to consume dwarven wine, llama's milk, longland flour, and hide-root seeds. You absolutely detest flies, though. You have an amazing memory, a lot of willpower, and a way with words and good intuition. I imagine you're fairly good to talk to, except if you're remembering something someone promised, then they would rather you have forgotten. But you have poor focus and poor analytical abilities, so perhaps you don't really know how best to exact vengeance upon them. Or rather, to capitalize on the fact they owe you something. You're often sad and dejected. Oh no. You tend not to openly express emotions. You prefer familiar routines. You are candid and sincere in your dealings with others. And you dislike confrontations. So I guess people do get away with quite a lot of things because you just won't pluck up the courage to confront them about it. You are disorganized. You have a sense of duty and constantly strive for perfection. Well done. Now, what about your relations? Other than Aryeki, your wife, you have a relation in Skelly, who is your older sister. And anyone else? PlanBPill, who's a niece. Arnob is a niece as well. Celador is your nephew. And that's about it. You only know a couple of the other people in the fort. And with that, we have met all of the dwarves who have come to Cattenvîr in the last year. And there you have it. Those are all of the dwarves that we have welcomed into Cattenvîr since the beginning of year 127, and we've also reviewed those dwarves that we'd already met in year 126. Now, there are certainly a few dwarves who raise some suspicions, either because they are suspiciously good at everything they do, or just suspiciously amazing at a small subset of skills, or because they are incredibly old, have no other family to speak of, and only appear to be a certain age. We can't confirm that. Yes, I'm looking at you, Webster. I've got my eye on you. But other than the threat of possibly feeding a viper at our breast in the form of a vampire, everything seems to be okay. Well, if you discount the few dwarves, or not so few dwarves, who seem to be crippled by anxiety and social stress. But with all said and done, I hope you've enjoyed meeting the dwarves, and I hope you will be joining us for future Meet the Dwarves episodes. But the next Dwarf Fortress episode you will see will finally contain some gameplay and may even push us over the edge and into a new year. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode all the same, and I hope you will join me for the next. But until then, and as always, from myself and everyone we have met in Cattenvîr, do take care.